Okay, so let's look at a few examples here on finding surface area. The first I'm going to go over is a cup, a conical cup with an open top. So the open top means that I'm not going to be finding the area of the circle on top. So if I look at the surface area formula for a cone, pi r squared is actually equal to the area of the circle on the top of the cup. Pi r s is the area around the outside. So for this example, I'm not going to be finding the surface area of the top, only the area around the outside because the top is open. So all I have to deal with is pi times the radius. The diameter is 3. The radius is half of that, so that's 1.5 inches, times the slant height, which is given to me on the side, which is 4. So all I have to do is find out what that equals. So I have 1.5 times 4, or you could have started with pi. Make sure to use the pi button. And that gets me an answer of 18.85. And that would be in inches squared because we're dealing with surface area. The next example I want to go over is a cylinder-shaped pool. And again, the top's going to be open because you have to get in the pool. So we're just looking at the surface area of this cylinder-shaped pool. So the surface area formula is given to me over here, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And again, the top is open, which means that this part of the equation, the 2 pi r squared, which accounts for both the top and the bottom circle, is going to be changed because I only have one circle, the circle on the bottom. So that's actually going to be just 1 pi r squared. So when I'm solving for this question, the surface area is equal to pi times the radius, which is again half the diameter. So that would be 7.5 feet. And then that's squared, plus 2 times pi times the radius, which is 7.5, times the height, which is given to me over here, which is 5. And then it's just a matter of solving this equation through. So I have 2 times pi, and then I have times 7.5 times 5. That's the second part of the equation. Sorry, I should have done the first one first, but that's okay. This is 235.62. So again, I did this second part first. And then the first part is just pi times 7.5 squared. Pi times 7.5 squared. Probably should have done the squared first for order of operations. So let's do that again. 7.5 squared. Then multiply that by pi, which is 176.71. And I'm going to add that to my second part of the equation. So I add that to 235.62, which is 412.33. So this first part, 176.71, represents the bottom circle, the bottom circular angle or area, and this other part represents all the area around the outside of the cylinder. So keep in mind that the top was open, so we got rid of one of the circles, the one on top, so it just left us with one circle. Third example here is a half cylindrical barn. So the surface area for a cylinder, again, is the same, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Keep in mind this is half a cylinder because it's only on the top. It's like been sliced right through. And there's an opening so that you can get into the barn on the front. So let's go through this one. So surface area is 2 pi times radius. Radius here is the diameter, which goes all the way across the circle, which is 15. So again, the radius is going to be 7.5, half the diameter, squared, plus, and I do have a front and a back this time, but we'll deal with this. I'll show you how to do this later. So we do have a front and a back, but we do only have an opening on the front, but only a small opening. So we're going to include the full circle for the first bit, and then we'll have to deal with that opening in a bit here. And then plus 2 times pi times the radius times the height. The height is the same as the length of this thing because it's been put on its side, which is 21. So I go through and I solve this. I get 7.5 squared times pi times 2. That accounts for the circles on the front and the back. The front and the back. So that's 353.43 plus, and that is 2 times pi times 7.5 times 21, which is 989.6. I add those both together and I get the surface area of what would be a full cylinder. So I add that to my 353.43. I get 1343.03. And this would be in feet squared. And then from there, what I need to do is I need to divide this by 2 because I only have half a cylinder, right? So I divide it by 2, I get 671.52. And then, because that's the half a cylinder now, I have to subtract off that area that's in just for the opening. And the opening is going to be a 7 by 6 opening, which is a 42 feet squared opening. So if I multiply or I subtract that off from my value that I have right there, minus the 42, is going to be 629.52. 629.52. And that's going to be feet squared. So divide it by 2 and then subtract off the front opening. Last example is just a globe. My surface area of a sphere, which is a globe, is 4 pi r squared. So that's going to be equal to 4 times pi times the radius, which again is half the diameter. So it's going to be 5 inches. And that's going to be squared. So I get 5 squared, which is 25. Multiply that by pi, and then multiply that by 4 to get a final answer of 314.16. 314.16 inches squared. So there's a few examples of how to find surface area, some with openings, some with not openings, and hopefully that helps you figure this out.